So just to give you their backgrounds, I'll start with Susan. She has many hats. So Susan is the CIO, the VP of Information Technology, and the VP of Customer Service. Welcome, Susan. Henry is the Chief Financial Officer. Welcome, Henry. And Dave is the Wood North American Sales Manager. Welcome. So I will turn it back to Tim Hebert.
Okay, thank you very much. So it was quite interesting. We have an event that we do once a quarter. It's called the Natreon Client Advisory Board Meeting. We invite clients to come and share their ideas, their thoughts, their feedback to us on what we're doing good, bad, and ugly. And I had the pleasure of meeting Susan at one of our CAB meetings. And what impressed me the most was how fused the business was with their IT. Now, in some cases, people walk into a fused environment because they have to do it intentionally. They have the time. They can plan it out. I think Susan's in her role was really forced into really making fusion happen really fast because they've been hit hard with the economic downturn the last 3 years. And I would say that necessity on the things they were already doing just sped up the things they've been doing to create tremendous results. So to get started here, what I'd like to do is have Henry give an overview of what Simon International does and go from there.
Well, Simonds is a 179-year-old business, so we're, I think, one of the oldest continuing businesses in continuous operation in Massachusetts. The company was owned by the Simonds family for the first 134 years, spent some time in the 60s to the 80s as a part of large public companies, and then was spun off in 88 with a private equity backing, and remains today a private company with private equity backing. Our two major businesses are metal and wood cutting, and the company today is about $110 million. I'll let David just talk a little bit about the wood business.
Our wood business is based almost exclusively in North America, largely because of the logistics of some of the cutting tools that our customers use. Our customers range from small independent entrepreneurs who might cut wood for a farm, for making a barn. Our other customers we sell through specialized distributors who represent our products to our customer base. And we also sell directly to some Fortune 50 companies like Weyerhaeuser, International Paper, and Georgia Pacific. On the wood side of our business, our main product are customized saw blades to help our customers achieve their specific sawing solutions. I've got a couple samples here. This is a relatively small one. This would be a section of about a 35-foot bandsaw blade, and that would be used for resawing into boards. The circular saw blade is used for taking large 12 by 12, for example, blocks of lumber, and there'll be a dozen of those saws in it, and we'll feed that block of wood through there at about 500 feet a minute, and we'll split it into all the boards in one pass. We work with our customers to customize those saw blades so that they're optimized for their particular mill, their feed speeds, their species, and what their particular goals are within their operation. Our business had historically been almost exclusively through distribution. And then starting in the 1990s or so, we started having more of our larger customers contact us saying, we're not seeing value add from your distributor partners. We can contact you directly now, and a lot of that's been enabled through technology. And they were saying, I have a big spend with you, I want to spend it directly with you. So that's been going on for about the last 10 years or so, to the point where about 40% of our business now is direct to the end user, and 60% of it remains through specialized distribution. So that's been another challenge for us, is going to technology. How do we communicate with our two different customer bases through a consolidated customer service group? So those are some of the things we'll touch on as we talk about how the fusion hits us on the wood side of the business.
Okay, excellent. Are you going to talk about the metal side of the business?
Yeah, the other side of the business is the metal side, and I should say that the company's about equal. The two businesses are about equal in size. They have separate sales forces and separate customer service organizations. We also have 6 manufacturing facilities, several distribution facilities, and we manufacture in Germany, the United States, and have joint venture partnerships in Honduras and Brazil. So for our size, we're not an uncomplicated company. But the metal business is really a global business, where the wood is a North American business. The major product is metal cutting bandsaws. Those are used in every tool room in a manufacturing organization, but they're also used by the likes of steel service centers and aerospace manufacturing customers, and there's a high degree of technical expertise that goes into the sale. So again, we have experts on our sales force that are almost applications engineers to help customers. So those are some of the challenges. The metal business has about 20 competitors. They can ship globally all over the world, so it's a very competitive business. There are about 5 competitors that are the major players in that market, of which we are one. The management team, I just wanted to talk for a second. The management team that we currently have has been in place about 10 years. The business had been very underinvested from a technology standpoint when we got there. We're a team that values technology as really an enabler and an accelerator of our business goals. And so we knew that we had some work to do when we got there. And as part of that commitment, you see is sitting next to me, we brought Susan on board, and she is a key part of our executive team. And also, I think the real example of fusion is she runs our customer service organization as well for both the wood and metal organizations.
Very good. So I had the opportunity last week to spend some time at your facility, and I was amazed by 2 very specific things. Number one, the lack of technology in your company from a IT perspective 10 years ago. That totally blew my mind to where there was almost no PCs in the business, no network, no wireless, no nothing. So you had to build everything from scratch. And the second thing that really blew my mind was how you guys actually work together as a team to create a corporate strategy, then take that strategy and transform it into a business technology model that really is not only growing, but transforming your business as you speak. So Henry, would you mind kind of giving us a little insight as to what you're doing there?
We use what we call strategy deployment, and that really works with a kind of a goal strategy and initiative kind of planning process. So we have some overarching business goals, revenue growth, goals for revenue growth, for profitability, and for improvement in customer service. And those are serviced by strategies, which would go something like organic growth through new product development, acquisitions, cost reduction, et cetera. And those strategies are then turned into initiatives. So every year we come together as an executive team, and everybody has brought the important initiatives that they think we need to accomplish for the year to achieve our strategies and goals. We go through a kind of an off-site sit-down and go through what we think are the really must-do, can't-fail projects. And there's always some very spirited discussion around that. And a part of that process is we always have more projects than we can do. So a part of the process is to resource the projects and make sure that we can get them accomplished and only select as many projects as we know we can resource effectively and complete successfully. So that, I think, is a twist to the strategic planning process that we use that not all processes have. Once we select those initiatives, they're tasked by project leaders who sometimes are IT people, sometimes are business leaders, but almost always the projects have an IT or technology component to them. We align our goals, so the projects once decided on are communicated throughout the whole organization, and everybody has to align their MBO goals with those projects as much as possible. We report out on the projects on a monthly basis in terms of progress, and we guard the resources very well, so we don't let scope creep or new projects get in the way of accomplishing the things that we have identified as must-do, can't fail.
One of the things that kind of impressed me with the model that you guys deploy, first of all, it's very visual and it's very easy to read. Anyone can walk in, look at the maps, and know exactly where you are. But I also love the way you have the executive sponsorship. There's an executive that is overall in charge of an initiative, and then you have the project leads. How does that interaction work? I mean, what makes this a special dynamic, having that in place?
Well, I think for every project, you've got a mentor and you've got somebody who can represent the project on the executive team, and typically can bring some additional expertise to the leaders. And some of those projects are technology projects. I don't know, Susan, if you want to elaborate.
Yeah, and what we've done is throughout the company, every one of the project leads, when they have to have a project plan behind their project, so it's a lot about what you talked about, and when they're reporting out, et cetera. And I find that when we have a new project lead person, if I'm the mentor in that, I'm sort of walking them through the project, the Gantt chart, how do we do this? How do we have the meetings? How do we hold people accountable? And then, as Henry said, when we have the monthly meetings or so, we're not coming to say, oh, I did this, I did that. You're only there to really say, I'm either on track, I'm not on track, and what are my countermeasures? And that's really a key, because that keeps us moving forward with our initiatives.
That's very good.